But first, the latest on a big story breaking overnight: chaos for a key U.S. ally in the Middle East. Turkey, which hosts the U.S.-led coalition fighting ISIS, suffered a violent attempted coup last night. Cameras inside Parliament caught the moment when an explosion rocked the capital of Ankara. This morning, it appears the coup has failed. At least 161 people, including police and civilians, are dead, and more than 2,800 military members are under arrest. Turkey's president says he is in control of the country.
Turkey is important for U.S. interests as it is the nexus between the Middle East and Europe. But relations between the two nations have deteriorated in recent years as the U.S. complained that Turkey was not doing enough to fight the Islamic State. President Obama is urging all parties in Turkey to support the democratically elected government of President Recep Erdogan. Holly Williams is in Taksim Square in central Istanbul, where there were violent clashes last night.
Good morning. We've just witnessed a night of violence and confusion here in Turkey. And though this attempted coup may have been defeated, what we saw makes one of America's most important allies here in the Middle East look increasingly unstable. The tanks that rolled onto the streets late last night were the first sign that an attempted coup was underway. For hours, gunfire and explosions rang out in neighbourhoods across Turkey's biggest city. Here and in the capital, Ankara, fighter jets repeatedly flew low overhead. This internet video appears to show a helicopter opening fire on protesters. And Turkey's parliament was apparently hit by a bomb. The attempted power grab was announced on Turkish state TV, which was taken over by some of the coup plotters. A so-called peace council was now in charge of the country, said the newsreader, to defend Turkey's democracy. But not long after that, Turkey's democratically elected president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, called into another television station, vowing to defeat the attempted coup and urging people to take to the street. Crowds of his supporters did just that, confronting the tanks and troops and shouting their defiance. By the early hours of this morning, the soldiers who attempted to seize power were surrendering and handing over their weapons. Government supporters had retaken control of state TV and crowded into its studio. The newsreader said she'd earlier been held hostage by the coup plotters. And then President Erdogan arrived back in Istanbul, welcomed by hundreds of his supporters. The attempted coup was treason, he told them this morning, promising to make the perpetrators pay a heavy price for pointing the people's guns against the people. There were still plumes of smoke hanging over Ankara this morning. The government may be back in charge, but this is a nation shaken by a night of chaos. There are reports this morning that a Turkish military helicopter has landed in northern Greece with at least 7 Turkish military personnel on board, presumably all involved in this failed coup, and they have now asked for political asylum. Vanita.
Holly Williams in Istanbul this morning. Thank you.